Welcome, friends and fellow geeks, to the first ever Michael at the Movies, as well as the start of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV review. Because let's face it, like it or not, without this movie, there wouldn't be any seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Angel. So, without further ado, let's get this review underway, shall we? We open with a voiceover guy laying out a similar speech we hear in the first season of the TV series. We're brought up to speed that one girl in every generation will be the chosen one, the slayer, the protector of all mankind, and she is trained by the Watcher. No, not them. Jeez, not everything is marble, you know. Anyway, when one slayer dies, another one takes her place. Now, before we go any further, all that, all that we just watched, we will never see any of that again. Oh, sure, we'll have random flashbacks throughout the movies, but that's it. Anyway, with zero transition, with the thrust of a rather detailed wooden stake into the air, we're quickly switched to the, well, let's go and call it what it is, a copyright infringement of the NBA Lakers team. And we're quickly treated to the stereotypical cheer dance number that most high schools in the 90s honestly had, from what I can remember, because, well, I was there at the time. The only thing that I can figure out, because, well, I'm not a sports guy, but why do half of these, is it okay to call them girls, since when filming this, I'm pretty sure all of them were in their 20s? But I'm sure, anyway, we'll go with girls. Why do some of them have the leggings, but the others don't? It's always struck me as odd. But this dance number goes on for far too long, and Hilary Swank, before you were, the most famous person to be in this movie. But here we get to my main issue with Buffy. She's so fucking dumb and annoying in this movie. And I know, she's meant to be the stereotypical California airhead, but god damn, this trope is overdone back in the 90s, and still to this day.
What's that?
I power a clock with a potato.
Shut up! You can do that? I mean, wouldn't that solve the world's energy crisis?
No.
But Christy Swanson as Buffy is dumb, and I'm not knocking her because I like Christy Swanson just fine, but the script made her, well, dumb. Now, Sarah Michelle Gellar's take on Buffy was less ditz, more real-world girl. Is it okay to call her a girl at that time? Anyway, back to the review.
Please, it's so 5 minutes ago.
Yes, movie, we get it. You were made in the 90s, so everything 90s is crammed right up our arse.
See a movie. Where? On the books? Oh, you sit. No way. Mid THX. They don't even have Dolby. Sorry. Beverly Center. Oh, please. They show previews for foreign movies.
Oh, yeah.
AMC?
Bogus corn. Totally stale, and the ushers are like the Acme Patrol.
The struggle is real. I mean, who really wants bogus corn and previews for foreign movies? We get the first meetup of Buffy and the Watcher, and spoilers for a 25-year-old movie. The Watcher's name is Merrick, played by the always wonderful Donald Sutherland.
Excuse much? Rude or anything?
Nice ensemble.
And of course it went like that. Of course, 4 teenagers thinks it's rude that someone stopping the doors from closing on an elevator so that maybe, just maybe, they can go and get on. Yeah, he's the rude one. They even insult his clothes. Bitches. As you can tell, I'm not the biggest fan of the females in this movie. Or the males for that matter. These two here would be the reason why. Okay, they're not the only reason. Well, their ass is right in his face. Can we really blame him? Yeah, probably. We finally get something happening, and Jesus Christ, it's Goth Pee Wee Herman. But we don't see anything, and that's why this movie is gonna be, ain't it? One big cock tease on what might have been. Oh, come on, they made Joyce Summers. Well, I guess at this point she didn't really have a name. If I sit and nitpick this thing, I'm gonna be here fucking forever.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye. Was found today.
And as Bobby and Bobby go and sit down to enjoy some Doritos, I remember those chip bags like that. God, I'm fucking old. So one look at the full moon later, and we're switched back to, well, whatever this is. Let's go and call it Buffy's past. And, well, she's not very good at her job. Opens the door to find a vampire feeding, and just stands there looking at him for a minute. Then tries to go and attack. Well, said vamp is back on his feet, and he is just fucking gone. But points to her for, diving out the window. And look, it's old-timey goth Pee-wee. And we finally meet up with our main bad guy of the movie, Lothos, played by Rutger Hauer. Loved you in Hobo with Shotgun Rucker, and not just because it was filmed here where I live. And I can tell you every place they used in that movie. But it was all just a bad dream for Buffy. Or was it? And now back on the set of Meatloaf's Bat Out of the Hell music video, we find Goth Pee-wee tending to Lothos before he arises. But forget about all that, it's time for ideas for the senior class dance, y'all!
What you guys doing?
Senior dance, we need to come up with a theme.
Reflects the students' growing awareness of and involvement in the world around them. Downer!
Mouth breathers, I swear to God.
What are the most immediate threats to the world environment right now?
Litter?
Litter, yeah.
Forest fires? Bugs?
Bugs, totally.
Yeah, I hate bugs. Yeah.
Bugs. Jesus Christ, where do I start? And she's so happy about her fucking answer, too.
What do you think about the ozone layer?
Yeah, about it.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of that.
First,
That's right, you heard her correctly. She said to get rid of the ozone layer. I don't know where to even start with this, Buffy. It's... At least we can go and say she doesn't believe in climate change. We start to get a hint of Buffy and what she can do, and, well, basically, her use of cutlery.
Yeah.
Hey, Buffy, you hungry? I got something for you. Oh, man, she wasted my dog.
Damn, that's cold. Wasting his dog like that? And again, off screen. We're next treated to the drunken duo out about in their natural habitat. Oh goody. And Merrick rolls up somehow as Goth Pee-wee grabs him a little something to go. And damned if Merrick don't get out of his car all fucking casual as his quote-unquote teen is taken right before him. And, he has the same look on his face you get when Starbucks is out of your almond milk chai latte. And after Merrick kidnaps Beavis, we're back off to cheer practice. But don't worry, that gets broken up rather quickly by Christy Swanson's stunt double doing gymnastics, while Merrick creepily watches her.
God! You scared me to death. Where the hell did you come from? Are you looking for somebody?
I was looking for you, actually.
Is anyone else getting the stranger danger vibe? After a less than stellar greeting, Buffy is, of course, less than receptive until Merrick starts to go and talk about her dreams, and we get a quick exposition dump, which convinces her to go to the graveyard with him. I can see this turning out real well. It's not long before not one but two vamps arise, one where Buffy had been sitting moments ago, and in what seems to be the style of this movie, we cut away to something else, namely Pike meeting with Vampire Benny.
Pike! Ben?
Well, that was totally needed. Plus, how fast do vampire traits take over in this world? It's been, like, what, hours? Maybe a day at most? And look at his fucking ears! It's like the worst impersonation of a Vulcan ever. And after getting home, Buffy goes and dons herself a full-length dressing gown while tying her hair up, and of course, having either, is it a dream? A vision? Either way, Lothos is there in some form or fashion. And after that bit of mind-fuckery, we're off to Goth Pee-wee again, as he sets about going to feed one of Buffy's friends to his master. And I'll give him this, Lothos does know how to go and make an entrance. And just as quick, we're back off to the high school again. Can we stay in one place longer than 5 minutes, maybe? But all is not lost. Merrick is here to go and throw shit at Buffy.
This.
Okay, even I'll admit, that was pretty fucking cool, and should have elicited some response from Merrick.
Bravo.
One clap? Really? Jesus, you're hard to impress.
Head.
And you caught it. Only the chosen one could have caught it.
Don't you get it? I don't want to be the chosen one. I don't want to spend the rest of my life chasing after vampires. All I want to do is graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
Okay, and this is one of the things that carries over to the Buffy TV show. Both of them wanting nothing to do at first with the vampire slaying or any of the aspects thereof, and just wants a normal life. And honestly, who can blame them? Real vampires would freak the shit out of me and any normal person. This, of course, earns him, a stiff shot to the nose. Nope. Pretty much he's earned it. This girl is years behind in training. She is sorely needed, and you've had doubts about her for years, but never once approached her to see if, I don't know, she's the one you're looking for. And after the stereotypical movie training montage, and I have to go and give it to Christy, while up-close shots are not that long, they are on the screen long enough for you to go and see she does have some talent.
Bravo.
Really? That's my first running gag? Alright. But all this training is starting to affect her school life, as well as her social life. Welcome to the life of a superhero, Buffy. You don't get a life outside of the mission. I know it's a very Batman way of looking at it, but...
I'm Batman.
What he said. Mr. Mackey here is worried about Buffy, okay? And while Gary Murray, party guy, goes on about dropping acid at a Doobie Brothers concert in the 60s, Buffy couldn't care less while pinning a fly to the wall, mid-air spit shot of a push pin. Congratulations are in order for that, by the way.
Bravo.
And now we transition to the cleanest dirty alleyway in all of Southern California. Buffy's trying to lure out some vampires when her version of spider sense kicks in and warns her that a vampire is near. But not where it's coming from. But who cares? An 80s style montage where all she needed was to kick some undead's ass in short order, all while being tested and judged by Merrick. Kinda uppity for a guy who, till a few days ago, wasn't sure. For all the shit I give this movie, she's made a lot of headway in a short matter of time.
You must never forget the cardinal rule, Buffy. One vampire is a lot easier to kill than 10.
Jesus, thanks for that sage advice there, Mr. Miyagi. That can be fucking said for anything, one bear is easier to go and kill than 10, so for fuck's sake. Buffy honestly says it best.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Well said, Buffy, well said. And after a brief heart-to-heart, we're back to Pike in his goddamn van. As he's currently stalled out on the road, and one would assume, the road out of town, two nameless vamps and Goth Pee-wee to go and show up to fuck with him. And for some reason, after getting the van started, Pike takes off with Goth Pee-wee covering most of the windshield. And for the most part, he's hamming it up until he punches a hole into the roof of the van, which unfortunately goes and costs him an arm. Teach him to go and play with his food. After crashing and starting to be chased, Pike channels his inner Jarrett and tries to stop him with a guitar shot. The vamp no-sells that shit. Real bad form on his part. He will not be working for Vamp Vince McMahon anytime soon. Conveniently, Pike is saved by Buffy, who just happens to be out there in a random fucking place, assumingly on the way out of town. After passing out like the super stud he is, Buffy takes Pike back to her home, and, we're there with what I can only assume is a forced romantic angle.
Are you calling me a man?
Dude, you're 23 at the time of shooting that scene. Yes, you're a man. And back at the evil lair, we get Lothos chastising Goth Pee-wee.
I'll be in my chambers. Having a little snack.
Aw, poor kitty. Back to the Brain Trust, who are more upset at the loss of an ugly-ass yellow leather jacket than the loss of their quote-unquote so-called friend, only to have Buffy's ass grabbed by her boyfriend's friend. The hell? I'm sorry, fellas out there. Why would you allow someone else, at least of all your friend, to grab any part of someone you claim to love? Guys, let this be a lesson to you. A female can look however she wants, but that doesn't give you the right to touch them in any way, shape, or form. Hashtag feminism. And just as quickly, we're whisked off to Buffy fighting with Merrick about having to go to cheerleading practice. I see his point. I mean, vamps can wash over the earth if they wanted to, and the only one that can go and stop them would rather shake a set of pom-poms at a basketball game. Our guy who got vamped off screen comes back, and Jesus Christ, how the hell do they not notice his frigging ears? I mean, come on. Spock and Tuvok, hid their ears in this era because they knew we humans freak out over everything that is not the same as ourselves. But it's not long before Buffy notices something odd about him. And she's on the attack before giving chase, stealing a biker's hog. While giving chase, oh goody, Pike is back. Son of a bitch. Being lured to what I can only describe as the old place Thanksgiving floats go to die, an old float graveyard, if you will, confronting the now vamped out Grueler and two nameless vamp goons, while Buffy tries to reach the guy inside. But Pike shows up to get right to the point, only to have that forced romance brought back up. Thankfully, Lothos shows up for his first face-to-face with this Slayer, which Pike and Merrick find that unagreeable. How the hell did Merrick catch up to them? Or even know where they were, for that matter? Did he play the GPS on her? But shit goes sideways as Lothos plans to end it right here and right now. Merrick, on the other hand, sacrifices himself to keep Buffy alive, and after some cryptic words about the music, Merrick is gone from this mortal coil. I'd feel more about this, but we barely had any time with him whatsoever. We get the base outline of who he is, and that's about it. The one thing we learn outside of him training Slayers is that he wanted to be a bootmaker. So rest well, Merrick, you creepy old bastard.
Bravo.
After grieving over a man she knew for maybe a week, two at most, we're back to the setup for the dance, y'all! And after trying to explain to her friends what's been going on, the Brain Trust has a meltdown.
Committee, excuse me for having something important to do.
And this isn't important? This happens to be the dance.
Right. It's a dance. It's a stupid dance with a bunch of stupid people that I see every stupid day.
Uh-huh. Like, now we're, like, stupid? You know?
Yes, sweetheart, you are very stupid. At least in the context of this movie. And after all that fun, Pike time is at it again as he rides up on a motorcycle. The hell? He had a van and a dirt bike. Did he steal that bike that Buffy stole? I now have so many questions, but after her latest run-in with her oh-so-good friends, Buffy, who once again knows there are vampires, at least in her city, watched the man who she was mourning, the night before, give up his life to save hers from, those same vamps, needs a dress for the dance. But sadly, this little openly talking about vampires, in an open and public place where anyone can hear them, well, yeah, that happens. Vampire Benny, who for some reason was then taking pictures of himself in one of those little photo booths, but as we see, nothing comes out on the shots, so it makes me wonder why he was in there. Like, did he spot Buffy coming? And what happened to her spider sense cramps from before. Again, so many questions left unanswered, and with her face and now her name known to them, the vampires set a plan to attack on the dance night because Lothos likes nothing better than an entrance. Pike, shockingly, is the only one getting ready for battle by making some mistakes, but it's not long before we're off to the dance to go and enjoy those sweet 90s jams. Buffy shows up looking alright, only to find that she's the only one to know her boyfriend breaking up with her answering machine.
Did you get my message?
You left me a message?
Ouch. When took one of her friends to the dance. That son of a bitch's cold-blooded right there. Not sure who the worst is, the boyfriend or the friend. Leave your comments below and let me know who's the worst out of these two. So after having her heart broken by this guy and dropped and laughed at by all her friends, the slow music hits to rub those hurt feelings in. Nice touch. But of course, Pike shows up because he somehow knew everyone would turn on Buffy. He hoped to break her and her boyfriend up. Nope, he showed up just because, and that means dancing and kissing minutes after being dumped. Oh, thank God these crappy vampires are here. Time for the semi-fun to start.
Don't worry. They can't come in unless they're invited.
I already invited them.
Really? So the whole uninvited thing works on a public gymnasium? Good to know. Yeah, because nothing completes a girl's outfit than a homeless guy's leather jacket. I'm now picturing Homer Simpson finding a can of Billy beer in his old dungaree jacket. Okay, so Lothos wants Buffy for himself. These other vamps can't kill her, of course, but unless they beat her ass a little bit, how did he expect them to go and get her to him? I mean, it's not like she's going to go willingly with them to him. And why didn't they rush her the moment she got out the door? She may be, may not be the best Slayer, but she still is the Slayer. Do they not warn the new blood of what the Slayer is and what she's actually able to do? And they just stand around while she backflips into the middle of them. It's so nice when those evil, evil vampires come at her one at a time. Real sporting. So what? The plan was to stand around like your rejects from a Broadway musical of Dracula, which of course drives her to run the hell away, leaving Pike, of all people, to take on what? At least a dozen vamps? Now for some reason, Buffy doesn't run, away from the school and the gym. Hopefully, leading the vamps away. Oh no. She runs into the school that somehow is not locked at night, only to find Goth Pee-wee. They talk shit back and forth, and let me put it this way, Goth Pee-wee and the Vamp DJ are the best things, in my opinion, in this movie. Moving on, we still see Pike sucks at everything while getting preached to by Vamp Benny about liking, the people at the dance, and in all fairness to Pike, who I honestly hate, by the way, he can't give two squirts of piss about these people. He came for Buffy, as did Goth Pee-wee and Lothos, rocking a violin that seems to be missing its casing. I don't know a thing about violins. Does that make them, sound better? Hopefully someone in the comments will have an answer to that. And in one of the greatest dragged-out death performances ever put to film, Goth Pee-wee just takes forever to die. I'm not kidding. He's still going on into the after-credit sequences. If Mystery Men hadn't come out after this, I would swear to fucking God he would still be dragging out that death to this day. So this is the final meeting between Buffy and Lothos, and with as much subtlety and, less charming ways, he's almost Weinstein-esque as he pulls Buffy into his lap, but that shit ends the moment the music stops and his quote-unquote spell is broken. With Buffy not reacting the way he wants, it's time for the beatdown to go and happen. But of course, we have to go and cut back to the gym to give us a laugh as the principal hands out detention slip after detention slip to dead vamps. What the hell did that last guy do to earn 2 of those? These are questions that will keep me up at night and eventually will lead to my madness. But enough about what's going to happen next Thursday. Oh my god, thank you. I changed my statement from before. Goth Pee-wee, the vamp DJ, and the real hero of this film, the detention happy principal. God, that'll never get old, and chances are it will be used in later reviews. So with Buffy back at the gym, Lothos goes and breaks in like the motherfucking Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
Jesus, that escalated quickly. So now we're ready for the final battle. Lothos and his katana versus Buffy and her flagpole? Is that thing even metal? I mean, we hear the clinks of metal on metal, but I'm not 100% sure on it, and I don't even think this movie is 40% sure on anything that it does. But oh goody, Pike's back into the picture, and thankfully he gets tossed aside like the little bitch he is. I don't want to drag this out any longer than I have to. It's already taken me longer to go and write this review than I care to admit. And I like campy movies, I like, the B movies, but this was a chore to go and get through. Wait, that's how he really goes out? I mean, a single stake to the heart? Didn't this motherfucker go and take a homemade flamethrower straight to the face and shake it off like nothing happened? But a single stake to the heart is gonna go and take him down? And he dies quicker than Goth Pee-wee did. I mean, what the hell? Some master vampire he turned out to be. And oh yay, joy upon joy, Pike is still alive. Fuck.
Did I do all of that?
No.
Did you do all that?
Yeah.
Now hold the phone just a fucking second. I can't go and stand Pike as a character. I think he's a total fucking stain. But those vampires that are dead in there were there before Buffy got back into the gym. So there's no way she could have did it all, quote unquote. And the fact that she's taking all the hero time away from, the obviously a homeless dude is kind of shitty in my opinion. Christ, let's go and give them their last dance so we can get them the fuck out of here. That's sweet and everything. Thank God this is over. So that was the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie review, and God, it was a chore to go and get through. I give this movie 2 Goth Pee-wees out of 5. I've been Michael for The Geeking Grounds, and this is Michael at the Movies, and I'll see you next time.